What is up, YouTube? Paul here. I was thinking this evening, how about I go out tomorrow morning, I catch a flounder. If I catch that flounder, I'm gonna bring him back, clean it, and cook it. And I'm gonna take you guys with me along for the ride. Thanks for stopping by the channel. I really appreciate you. If you hadn't hit that like button, please do so. Please subscribe. Guys, I want to grow this channel. I really would like to hit maybe 200 subscribers within the next, I don't know, month or so. I just started out, you know, and I'm grateful for every single one of y'all. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned. Here comes some bait around the grass line. You can see a little herd of them coming like a V. I think we're just a little bit short. Kind of sunk in some mud as I threw it, but we'll see what we got here. All right. Oh, we got 2 or 3 in there. All right. Take that. Head back over to our rods. All right, guys, just a little tip about flounder fishing is when you use live bait and you throw it out and you drop it there and you feel something bump it or you hear a little drag take it, you pick it up, you give it a little slack, and I count to 5. I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I set the hook, bam. Because what's happening is that flounder, he's grabbed the back of that minnow and he's trying to suck it down into his mouth. He'll just ease it back down into his throat, and then once he has it back into his throat, you just set the hook on it. So if you do that, a lot of guys make the mistake of when they feel the initial bite of a flounder, they'll go ahead and try to yank up on the hook, and what they're doing, they'll actually jerk the mullet out of the flounder's mouth. So just a little tip, guys. You know, I don't know how many of you are flounder fishermen or if you flounder fish with live mullet or gulp baits or anything like that, but always give them time to eat the bait, and you'll catch more flounder than you'll lose every time. All right, guys, we just got hit hard. I hope something's on here. Fish on. Got a fish on. Guys, I got a fish on here, and I did not bring my dip net today. Oh, it's a nice flounder. I'm gonna have to take him to the bank and beach him. I could possibly lose this fish. He's a good size. I apologize for the wind, but he's trying to get the push on me. Boy, looks like he got the hook pretty good, so we're gonna be all right with it. Just gonna walk him up on the bank here. Oh man, that's a nice flounder. Boy, they always get your GoPro wet, I tell you what. Up on this bank, man, there's a lot of trash. Try to get them up out of the sand, try to get them on something else. Wow, that's a nice fish right there. Not bad, not bad. Alright guys, we got our first fish of the day. It just happens to be a flounder, so I'm already happy with today's catch. It couldn't get any better than this. I'm gonna keep on fishing. It took me about 2 hours to get this first fish, and I ain't gonna lie, I was getting kind of down and out, man, and finally I heard the drag go off. I picked it up. I didn't really feel anything on it because it was coming toward me, but I got tighter on the line and I felt just a little weight on there and set the hook on him, and there it is. There we go, nice flounder. If you guys never seen the teeth of a flounder, they're pretty sharp. They got some sharp cone-shaped teeth in there. But awesome fish, man. We're gonna keep on fishing. Maybe we'll catch some more. All right, guys, we got us one flounder. That's plenty enough for me. Let's go home and cook this fish. This current is really ripping right now, and I have got to get back across this canal. I know it is really deep. I had to swim across this thing this morning to get over here. But I'm gonna just turn this camera around and maybe you can see me. You can see me as I'm crossing this canal, how deep it gets. And I don't know if I'm even gonna be able to film myself because I'm gonna have to use this hand I'm holding this camera to swim with. This is enough current. Wow, I can really feel it whipping across my body. Whew. It's enough to really sweep you off your feet. I mean, I am just barely tiptoeing right now. Man, that's really deep. I think we're gonna make it. Are we gonna make it? Oh, I can just feel the current kind of pulling me along here. Whew. All right, the hard part's over. Now I can go cook this flounder. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this flounder catch, clean, and cook going. I got the flounder sitting over there on the ice chest. We're gonna go ahead and scale it and prep it to put in the oven. All right, guys, here's our flounder. Flounder has very small scales, so they are very easy to scale. You can use a steak knife, you can use a spoon, or you can use a butter knife, but they are really easy to scale. And this, you can tell the little scales, they come right off of here. I'm gonna try to speed up. And okay, guys, so we got both sides of this flounder scaled, and I'm just double checking this thing right now, make sure I got all the scales off the meaty stuff. Okay, get up here where I'm gonna make this cut. All right, so I'm just gonna cut his head off right here behind his fin, and kind of got to get through some bone there. Gotta break it, cut it. All right, get all his guts out. Very nice. All right, so I'm just gonna take my knife and kind of go through here and dig any of the guts out of his stomach right here. See, a flounder doesn't have that deep stomach well like a lot of the longer fish have, so make sure I got all the scales off up top where I made that cut. And We're gonna wash this fish down and we're gonna take it inside and we're gonna prep it and cut it up a little bit, put some juices on it. All right guys, so we cut the head off and we scaled the flounder, and it feels good. You can run your hand up the flounder and check for scales, and I don't feel any scales. Both sides feel nice and smooth. And that, my friends, is a flatty patty ready to go into the kitchen. All right guys, we've got our flatty patty over here sitting on the pan waiting. And I'm just gonna take my stick of butter here and I'm gonna coat the bottom of this aluminum foil. Make sure I have plenty of butter on here to keep the bottom side of the flounder from sticking to the foil. This foil here is actually what the flounder is gonna be laying on. So we're just gonna lay this on the pan once we get the flounder in it. Make sure we got it coated real good. All right, it seems pretty well coated there, so we're just gonna take our flounder, we're gonna lay it over here on our buttered piece of aluminum foil, like so. And the next step is very important. What we're gonna do is take our knife and we are gonna cut tiny slits into this fish, so when we put our butter on it, the butter will be entrapped into the fish. So we're just gonna go down the center of the flounder like so. All right, all the way to the bone, and you can see down in there that it is to the bone. And we're just gonna take our knife and just cut slits across the flounder so that when we lay our seasoning and butter on top of the flounder, that we have a spot for the seasoning and butter to go inside of the fish. And it also helps bake it a lot more thorough. So, all right, we got our slits cut here. All right, looking good. Actually, this is a big gap here, so I'm gonna cut one more slit here across everything and make more space for that butter and seasoning to go. And do the same to this side. Okay. And that's looking pretty good. We're gonna take some butter. We're gonna chop it into squares. Little slices of butter so we can lay it all out on top of the flounder. That's looking pretty good. I'm just gonna lay the butter here on each, kind of staggered along the flounder here. Make sure I got my butter kind of evenly spread out across the flounder. And again, this is a perfect way to cook a flatty patty or flounder so that you're not wasting a whole lot of the fish. Because I really think this is the best way to get most of the meat off the flounder. And it's really healthy protein, I mean, for days. All right, so we got our butter, and what I'm gonna do is take a little Tony Chachere's, sprinkle onto the flounder on that butter, down in those slits we cut. All right, got the butter. Now let's chop up some onions. Probably won't take too many of these to cover the flounder. And what I like to do is just take, of course you're gonna take the little husk off the onion. I don't like eating the husk part of the onion. But we're gonna take our onions, I'm gonna separate them, and we're just gonna put them on the fish like so. This onion smells really sweet too. It smells really good and fresh. It's gonna be a delicious flounder. I can tell already. It smells good. I've been fishing all morning, so I'm just frothing, chomping at the bits right now. All right, put a little more onion on here. Okay. All right. So, got our onion on there, got our butter on there, we got our Tonys on there. Now we are going to put some bell pepper on there. Oh man, that bell pepper smells delicious and fresh. Wow. Okay, and I'm just gonna cut these in long pieces. And I'm gonna lay them across the flounder periodically. Oh man, this is smelling delicious already. These fresh vegetables on top of that fish and that butter. Now I've had my oven preheating already for 400 degrees while I was out there cleaning it. So when I got all this ready, it'd be time to eat. Or excuse me, time to put it in the oven. Start baking it so we're not wasting any time. So look at that bell pepper, so fresh and green. I'm gonna take that and cut it a little bit more. It's a big piece of bell pepper there. Okay, so here we go. Bell peppers on top of our flounder here. Wow, looking delicious. All right, I'm gonna take a little salt. Gonna take a little pepper. Man, this is looking good. Smelling good. I'm gonna put a little Tonys. But bam, little Tonys on top of that butter, on top of the bell peppers, on top of the onions. Now, at this point in time, I'm gonna take another piece of aluminum foil out of my roll here, and I'm gonna kind of make a foil cap over the top of this flounder, just like a kind of like a little bacon pocket or something. You know, we just want to take the foil length of the flounder and make a nice place to trap all that heat in. And before we put this foil on this flounder, I'm going to take some butter and coat it, so when I open it up, all the bell peppers and onions aren't sticking to the foil. Okay, don't miss this step, because you're gonna pull the top piece of foil off and you'll pull your bell peppers and onions right off of there, because they'll be dried and stuck to it. Okay, so butter side down. I'm gonna put over this flounder, and we are just gonna encapsulate this fish and just hold those juices inside of there. We want all that butter, those bell peppers and onions and the Tony Chachere's to get inside of those slits that we cut with our knife. And now we are ready to put this baby in the oven. I'm just gonna kind of clean up as I go here. All right, and I'm gonna wipe this pan off where I laid that flounder. And I'm gonna put my wrapped flounder on my baking sheet. Make sure it's nice and snug around the edges. And now I'm gonna take my flounder and put it in the oven. All right, I'm gonna set my timer for 30 minutes. All right, guys, 30 minutes. The flounder is baking right now I will see you in a few minutes when I pull it out the oven and put it on the plate. All right, we have got the fish out of the oven. Let's see what this flounder looks like when it's all said and done. Ooh, I see the butter over there on the edge. Ooh, it's hot. You'll be careful when you pull this off. Wow. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look at that fish. Alright, and I'm going to show you guys the chunks that we cut into the fish. Oh man, this is going to be delicious. Guys, let's have a little taste test, shall we? These bell peppers and onions are really soft and really gooey. They are sauteed with salt, pepper, Tony Chachere's, and butter. And the butter actually is on the outside of the flounder, inside of the foil, so you can take a piece of your white flounder and you can dip it in your butter, and it's really a good flavor. Wow, that is so good, especially after you've had a long day of fishing. You come home, you clean the fish, you cook the fish, and to be able to just sit down and enjoy a fish that you went out and caught, that you prepped, that you cooked, is an awesome feeling. I'm Paul, guys. If you like this channel, please like and subscribe. If you found this Catch, Clean, and Cook helpful or entertaining today, please let me know in the comments below. Guys, I really do appreciate all your love and support. Thank you, and tight lines. I just heard something going on over here. 1 ounce weight on this one, so whatever it is, it might be strong enough to